Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass mother effing Fords that we all like to drive, this is your All-Terrain Nation presented by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. And off-road products they make because, well, they make cool rock sliders. And that's basically it. That's all they make. Just one cool thing for a lot of different brands. So if you're, you do have other things, I can't say it, but they do make products for the other things too. And
go check them out.
Go check them out. That's all they ask. They've sponsored the show for almost a year. Their contract's coming up. So yes. I'm going to have to talk to them, or there might be a new player in town.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
You're sassy.
It could be presented by All-Terrain Nation. It already is. But yes, it's Monday night. It's time to talk some Fords. And yes, my thumbnail for this video here is a little clickbaity. Just a little clickbaity. But that's okay because I wanted you guys to know we got some important stuff to talk about. If you've been planning on going to Moab, Utah for the safari, you're going to want to hear the news. And I've got some stories that I've got pulled already to go and discuss those things. But it is kind of a bummer. So first off, Allie's over there. She's got pets galore. She's bundled up. She's got her ears covered. She's got a hoodie on. And is it cold over there?
I always cover my ears.
What, you act like it's cold up in Michigan or something.
It is cold. I'm over it already, and it hasn't even started yet.
That's how I am, man. I'm so dreading winter. I'm like, I just want warm temperatures, off-roading.
That's it.
Kelly, sorry, we're figuring out. We've done some attachments here, some new things to the studio, and Kelly's first chance to get to actually use it, and might not be working out the best just yet, but we will carry on. So it is a Monday, Kelly. How's your Monday gone? Your last free Monday, really, right?
It is my last free money. Free
money?
Monday.
Free money? Sign me up.
It is my last free Monday, and I had big plans to reorganize Sydney's closet today because I ordered a new organizer, and it was supposed to be here by 10 o'clock tonight, and usually that means by like midday, and we literally had 5 packages arrive from Amazon today, and none of them were the organization. And we got to notice we've been notified that it's been pushed to tomorrow. And I'm like, you're killing me, people. So
tomorrow's just another day.
Well, and Ford came and did our.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Well, you asked how my day was, so it's all my day, not yours.
I didn't say every detail of your day.
Allie, how was your day? Because I'm apparently done.
Everything's fine. Everything's great. It was a Monday.
Well, Pupper's over there doing well, it looks like.
Yeah, she actually had a fantastic day yesterday.
Good.
And then today she's been very sassy. So like the days that I don't have like a dog sitter lined up, she comes to work for me. Or work with me.
Work for you, man.
She might work
She's
for
got to
you.
earn it.
Yeah, she might work for you too.
I mean, after her medical bills, yeah, about that. But you can like hear her in the office like barking, and it was only when the girls would like pick up the phone to like answer. I'm like, well, sorry about that, but I mean, she's feeling good, I think.
Well,
I mean, she's
just welcoming everybody once the phone answers.
As long as she's not out there moping around,
Yeah, that's the thing. She's eating, she's drinking, her tail's wagging. So we start tapering off her steroids tomorrow, which I'm very nervous about. So we'll see how that goes. My anxiety is through the roof right now. So
we once again we appreciate everybody who helped support Maya through all that the past couple weeks, and we
all are the reason she's still here. So
I seen you had a package from Bronco Nation or somebody show up. What is going on there, girl?
Oh, I've got Ford clothes. I wish it was Bronco Nation.
Oh, was that not Bronco Nation? Okay.
I thought it was Bronco Nation too.
No, it was just the bucking Bronco tape. It was Ford merchandise. They have some cool stuff coming out.
Nice.
Well, it's technically already out. Like Bronco pajamas, got those.
You gotta.
I can't show our daughter because she would totally want them. She's all about like pajama pants right now.
I will get pajamas any day of the week. Come here. Come say hi.
You know what else we're all about? Smash that like button for the show, everybody. We get 19 likes, 66 people in here, and we're going to get into some good stuff.
So Steel Bronco says, I swallowed the clickbait.
Well, I mean, there's if you look behind it, that is Moab behind it is when they did the release. When Smitty built and all them did their release of their Broncos for, I believe it was maybe the first Safari, first 6G. I can't remember because I feel like there's been 3 of them, but I only think there's been 2 for 6G. I know it's an event that's kind of been off and on going over the years, but we will definitely get into that. We had some. You were saying earlier we had our Bronco. Ford does this, and I love this. They have a mobile in this new,
at least in our town.
Yeah, it's new. It's new in there. I know they're rolling this out, but they gave. I know Allie knows this. They gave out vans to dealerships and said, "Hey, go do mobile servicing. What we can do." So a lot of people work from home now and can't.
They were in a Maverick today.
A Maverick.
Maverick, Escape, and Transit, I believe.
Yeah, it was a Maverick today.
But they've done mobile oil changing for us, and they use our Ford points, and
they did our tire rotation that day too. I think,
which I didn't ask for, so that was a that happened. I wasn't happy about that. I wasn't like mad about it either, but I was just like, hey, I have a tire dealership that does that for me, and they'll actually rotate the 5th one in. That's one thing Ford needs to get in their dealers' butts about training people to do a 5-tire rotation. We only know 4 tires. That's a donut. It's a real tire.
Yeah, because unfortunately I'm still seeing that in a lot of the ladies groups and things where they're like, are you guys having problems with your dealer like rotating that 5th one in? And unfortunately, a lot of people are still having the issue.
Yeah, you call it Jeep dealership right now, and they will. Yeah, we do 5-tire rotations. Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's a hiccup. They need to understand, the vehicle a little bit better. Yeah, definitely. But we've got a new windshield going to be here tomorrow.
Yep. Won't be OEM.
No, sadly, we've had enough cracks in our windshield that Remember with the first one we got was like with what 400 miles on it.
Yeah,
we were going down to Florida. And because it was that December, we got the truck in November. We went down to Florida in December and got a nice little chip. And we thought it would spread. It just never spread.
Yeah, it just really tiny, but it's still there.
But then on our way back from Florida this year, we got a chunk. Yeah. And I literally saw the rock come off of a truck's wheel, and I wasn't close to that vehicle. But
That's the worst is when you can see it.
Yep.
And you're just like prepping yourself for it.
At least it's not a bunch of logs coming at your car. Well, I'm just saying.
We've seen that.
Final Destination.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I still cannot get on a highway if I see that or like they're carrying telephone poles or something. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get over here.
I usually take a picture and I say, if you know, you know, and then I either speed up and pass them or I stay way back.
What? Look, Mr. Shitster already. Already.
Welcome to another edition of the Kelly and Allie Show. Please smash the like buttons and support Kelly because her husband is lazy and doesn't do it. Wow. Thank you, Andy, for the super chat.
Andy's just mad because I'm in his fantasy football league and I don't do anything.
Isn't that awkward?
I just don't do anything in it.
Awkward.
And so Andy's going to roast me for that because he kept trying to trade players this week and I just didn't have time to deal with it. And, but yeah, so, so the Broncos going to get new glass. I did ask you, hey, is it going to be OEM glass? And you're like, no, I don't think so, which kind of is a bummer. Not really, but
I'll be interested to see how much longer it lasts.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, so we're doing it through
Safe.
We're doing it through SafeLight
because
it's free
with a passion.
Well, we've had a couple of
the Titan was a nightmare.
The Titan, we had a windshield replaced. We had the Juke had a windshield replaced, and unfortunately, the Juke. So now that I think about it, we've never had a great experience with SafeLight. But they come to my house. But they come to our house, and that's the thing. Like for us, like to have the convenience of them coming to the house is huge. So, plus they bill through insurance. Luckily, we have a $0 deductible on our glass coverage, so they literally come to my driveway, fix it. But yeah, with the Titan, they weren't in the calibration. They didn't calibrate it.
Oh, that's my sensors and all that. That's my favorite because every single time I call Progressive to like get a new windshield, because it's been a couple of times, they go through SafeLight.
Yeah.
And I tell them every single time, I'm like, listen, my dealership is doing it, plain and simple, like cut the shit. Like I don't need to have this conversation. and then like go on this long lecture. I'm like, they fix the cars that come from the factory messed up. Like, they will do just a fine job calibrating everything, like my camera. She's like, well, just so you know, most of them don't do it. I'm like, just give them the claim. That's all I'm asking you to do.
They'll just do
give
it.
them the claim.
Well, and when they did the Titan, the guy was like, so the sensors for the windshield wipers wouldn't work at all because they were sense. And I told him, it's just like, it's just not right. And I was the one driving the Titan at the time. And so I was
like
the one that
most
noticed
new
it.
vehicles we get, I don't get to drive them.
You have a work truck, sir. Just gonna say it. But anyway, so contacted Safe Flight back and they were like, oh, it's probably this little goo, essentially. It's like this little sticky goo that they needed to put in there. So they put that in there and then they still had to come out one more time and there was something else they had to do. But then on the Juke, they broke like...
Yeah, they broke the trim around it, didn't replace it.
Yeah,
now that was mid-COVID too, so...
Yeah.
But anyways, but yeah. So
I let Dave drive on the weekends.
So we...
Just
so we do... No, she does. We play that up a little bit. But yeah, they're coming to put that in it. We did have the Ford Tech come out today, and they were doing a warranty deal for, what was that for, Kelly?
Say it again.
The warranty deal for the Bronco? Or recall seatbelt.
That's it.
I still haven't done that, and I work at Ford dealer.
They kept bugging me. They kept calling me, and I was like, all right, finally, I get it. You just want to touch my Bronco. Just back off, please. But then what did they tell you? So I love you people at MAP. Couple quality issues that I really wish we could. And every manufacturer has it, I know.
So
wait.
Hold on. I was just going to say I walked out there and they said that they didn't even really need me for any reason. They
I talked to
him
him on a ring.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was saying. That's it. Now go.
So yeah, so there's a handle, one at the driver's side, the little grab handle on the side. You can tell it just doesn't ever fit right. And I'm just too lazy. I need to just take it off and put it back on and it'll probably be right. But yeah, what did they say, that the seatbelt or something's backwards?
So the guy was super nice and he was like, hey, so this driver's side is actually on backwards. So when you take it in, you need to let them know that they need to fix it.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, and then now we have the issue that everybody has with the airbag cover
on the steering wheel.
It's split down there like everybody.
And I told them about that and they said yes, and he actually wrote it down as I was standing there, so he put it on the record that was an issue for when we take it in. And yeah, so anyways, but
yeah, so it's been a day or gonna be a couple of days of Bronco repairs, it seems like. We came back from off-roading last week, and
we need to do it while the weather's nice too, so we can still drive the Mustang around.
What?
Take the Bronco in for service. Sorry,
but we beat the piss out of it at the Badlands. I did get under it a little bit and was kind of spraying some of the mud and stuff.
Respectfully beat the piss out of it.
Yeah. No, it was all those loving scratches were intended. Well, not intended, but part of it. But overall handled trip well. I will say the Bronco takes a beating and keeps on just keeps on going. Our buddy Mark King, who is in the chat here, known as the AT guy, because his little he had one of those little Instagram drawings done.
Yeah.
And it's got the legs now instead of wheels. It's got the little crawler legs. And
cool.
he said it's like blowing up all over the internet.
That's awesome.
But yeah, him and Jess and them, Umbrado Broncos, they went what looked to be mudding. And I don't like mud. Mud tears up things. I don't like mud either because it's too unpredictable. I love the appeal of the splash. I know the appeal of it. I like that. But I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not putting a new alternator in this thing right now. Mm-hmm. Let's let it die a normal death. 200,000 mile death.
Because we went through enough water last weekend.
Yeah, it was a little. There was one hole we went through and it was very muddy water, and I was like, shit, man, that's pretty high. Well, there's no way around it. We're gonna have to go through it. Yeah, and I went through it as slow as I could, and then luckily, don't send it right. Go slow. And luckily, we then came across some. Huh?
I said I don't disagree with this. By the way. What? You're talking about the seatbelt recall? It's a lazy recall. 110.
But luckily we went through some clean water shortly after that kind of rushed out or cleaned out the mud. So but that's as far as Ford. Our not local dealership that we took the Mustang to for some warranty work is really pissed me off.
And so they are on my shit list of I will not deal with them. I text the lady. So we took the Mustang in. I think we've told you guys about it. It had the little sensor, I don't know if it's a temperature sensor or what it is in the middle of the dash. Just it popped out. You could tell that the little feet that kind of click it in, one of them just will not hold that in. So we took it in for that. There was that little hail dent or whatever it was that was reported when Allie saw the car. We were trying to get that repaired and one other little thing. Oh, we had a sensor, the emergency sensor. What is it? The
pre-collision assist.
Yeah. And so we took it to this dealership. They had it for 3 days and basically didn't do shit. And that didn't bother me because I know sometimes you got to order parts, and which is perfectly fine. But it was the attitude that we got from the dealership of just like, and then they were like, well, we couldn't make, and Allie, hold me to this, and because I don't understand this. So there's a front collision sensor, and I think it's when I put it in track mode, when it goes back into normal mode, it's not wanting to engage that sensor. But my app records every time this thing has a failure. It records. We have a list of here. This thing did not do, the sensor failed.
Right, the code popped.
Yeah, and the dealer's like, well, we couldn't reproduce it. And I'm like, are you really? I said, and she goes, so we can't do anything about it. And I was like, why do I have this app that shows every time? And she goes, well, we have to do it ourselves. And I'm like, she goes, well, we could, you could stand up here and we could turn the car on and off and on and off. And I'm like, what good is it to tell me that I'm having issues if you guys don't? I didn't make this app. Ford made this app.
Unfortunately,
I don't understand it.
Unfortunately, they're not wrong.
No, I'm sure they're not.
Because Ford does make the dealer, we have to duplicate it. And it sucks because, I'll have customers that have this ongoing issue several times. We'll have the car for a week. We'll not do it once for us. So it's when you go to the doctor because, you think that you're sick, but, turns out nothing's wrong with you. But then a week later, actually, something is wrong with you.
Or, you swear you have bronchitis and you go in and they're like, lungs are clear. And then next week you're broken.
Yeah. And, honestly, every single time it happens. And it's so annoying and it's so frustrating because it's the dealer or the car knows it's going back to the dealer. It's nope, I'm fine.
Well, so we asked you today. We asked you today, and you were able to look up because we were asking you about some recall stuff on it. You were able to go, hey, yeah, we've seen there's a couple things on here. If you can see it, that means it's going through a database.
That something can be seen.
Why the fuck can?
Wow, you are WTF tonight.
It pisses me off a little bit because I understand what Allie's saying. I 100% get that, but there's a failure between Ford. Then don't put it on the freaking app. That, hey, you have a problem that causes you to go to the dealership, waste my fucking time, go there, and then it's no
We're
problem.
only 18 minutes in, sir.
I know.
You dropped it
I'm
3
sorry.
times.
That lady's attitude really has set me off, and her not calling me. It's your dealership, front of house. This lady should never be the front of house. I'll be honest. The other guy was dude. He was on it when we came through the door. He was smiling face. I'll be with you in just a minute, and
she's nice. She was nice when she had the answers for you, but she didn't give 2 shits when she didn't have answers.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so yeah, that's my frustrating thing of the week. And I want to bring this up because I want people to see what I'm talking about here. So I will hold this up to the camera. So let's see. There it is. But pre-collision assist not available. All these problems. Tire pressure sensor, which happened from when we bought the car.
Yes, but I think I've narrowed it down to when the pre-collision assist happens because did you see how many there were of those? That's how many times this one has remote started the car from the house.
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter.
No, but what I'm saying is we can then take it and duplicate it at whatever dealership if that's the case, because if you notice, that's the only time it comes on when we remote start.
Allie, if we lived near you, the car would sit there and I know I would trust your dealership and you guys to take care of it. But it's sad that I'm in Middle Tennessee with a lot of Ford dealerships here and I'm 2 for 2 for shit dealerships that I think the one that we took
within
the Mustang to
15 miles of our house.
The one we took the Mustang to, I think don't want to work on it because we didn't buy it from them. And I think that was the whole attitude because I had asked her and she's like, well, you'll have to talk to my general manager about this. And I'm like, why the fuck do I have to talk to your general manager about, I brought a warranty repair vehicle here. Get on it. Or you know what? I would rather have honesty and go, look, sir, we appreciate we're just too busy. We need to service our customers first. I would feel more better. I would still be mad about that, but I would be like, oh, okay, well, at least you're up front, but this leads you on. Oh, we're gonna call you when those warranty parts come in. The fuck you are. You're not calling me because I text her. And she was, remember when she had problems getting a hold of us or something? Oh, the text messages flew like crazy. Suddenly it's when, hey, did that part come in? And I was nice about it. I wasn't ugly. Crickets. And that's where Ford needs to get their ass in gear with their front of house dealerships. And I know they're privately owned.
Ford won't do anything about
No, but they have quality control that goes through these dealerships. I know
audit essentially.
That go through, and I know Ford listens to this. And I'm not asking for any special treatment. I just wish that it sucks that, because you want to buy a vehicle from where you want to buy a vehicle from, which is why we went to Allie. I wanted to buy a vehicle from Allie.
But we can't help that we can't get it serviced there.
No, that's not my thing. But the problem is like David, the guy that had the busted transfer case, all this stuff. It was no dealership wanted to work with him because he didn't buy it from him. And I'm the recipient of that. And it's like, and I felt for the guy before. Don't get me wrong.
Gee, you're going to be drunk tonight.
I'm not bitching about it. I just think that it's the Murfreesboro Ford, who I've bitched about, is a pretty big dealership. They're owned by a pretty big conglomerate.
I'm not going to lie. I have like 6 car sales to thank for them.
Well, yeah,
sure.
and the Mustang was because of them too.
So it sounds like it might be a smidge of a Middle Tennessee problem. Now, I've heard a lot of people have really great things to say about Three Rivers, or Two Rivers,
Three Rivers Ford,
whichever it is,
whatever,
something Rivers. But Pamela Turkin Baffas said same problem with Bill Brown dealership, and I just looked them up, and they are a Nashville dealership.
Yeah. So
it's like a something in this area where maybe the regional is not making sure they stay up to
either way. I'm not gonna continue to bash them because I do need to do business at some point with these people. The Murfreesboro Ford, I will say this: their people come out, have been 100% when they come out and do the work for us. They've been very nice and very courteous. I do appreciate that. I got to talk to one of them. The Mustang now is going to go back to Murfreesboro Ford because if the other dealership doesn't want to deal with me, at least Murfreesboro Ford will. And I know they do have a body shop. That's the next thing, Allie. This one, they're like, we don't have, and I understand small dealerships don't necessarily all have body shops, but she was like, I was like, hey, we were discussing, hey, it's already paid for. All you have to do is do the work and you guys will get paid. And well, I mean, it would have to be a Ford certified dealership or body shop. And I'm like, that's not my problem to worry. Like, don't give me your problems. Just say we can't do it.
Yeah. You
will have to take it somewhere else. That's all I ask. I don't need the grandma. I'm gonna tell this little whippersnapper to go brush his teeth or whatever.
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. F these people. Anyway.
Oh my God, you're sassy tonight.
Sorry, I'm out. I've got that out.
Mark King said, "Old Dave, glad to see Old Dave tonight."
Well, I have been a little nice. But I brought these awesome ladies on, and I've had to tone it down just a little bit. But that is a WTF right there, and that will probably get clipped and reposted. Anyways, so Kelly. You're supposed to do the intro, I guess, before I go off on my rants, but I don't push the
really
button.
Have time.
Do something. Sorry, it hit a nerve.
Oh, how does one follow up that? Like,
I don't know.
I don't really know.
I'm muting myself.
Please do. Ragnar Khan is in the house tonight. Bob Masters, Mark King, Maki Fan, Michael Cooper, Minall Productions. Zach N says nothing like hitting the subscription button and then worrying if we were canceled because of my mind jumps to worst case. And then you get some WTF from Dave tonight. Steel Bronco says, why is the big road canceled across the screen? Anyone know what that means? They figured it out in the chat. Steve P checking in from Phoenix this evening. And let's see, Tim Jackson. And let's
Silas
see.
Jackson.
Wow. I thought you were muting your mic.
Right? I did it. Jack Evans, Tim Jackson, Michael Cooper, Alcione Ford with Laura, Nelizar, 502 Bourbon Crew, Bryce Gardner, Gia Hogue, Jonathan Folds, which I believe I already said hello, but I'm going to say it again. G. Willikers. Man, it's been a minute for G. Willikers. Welcome in. Jessica Dunn says, I'm in a Colorado group, and they have been posting about the word in some Moab trails are likely to be shut down. And we'll talk about some of that tonight, too. Broken Lizard 03, Bronco Adventures, Bud Guy 8829, 120 Down Under.
Hey, Blanco, if you'd like to join in on this conversation we're about to have, let us know, and I'll send you a link.
Deal me in for a 2024 Bird Dog off-road. Nurse AJ says, I'll trade her medical bills for mine. I'm finally going back to work on Monday. Been out 19 weeks.
From the foot injury. Wow.
Yeah. Bryce Gardner, Unbridled Bronco.
I have to say, Nurse AJ, she missed a hat. She was going to get a cool ATN hat, and she didn't show up for it.
I muted him, and he unmuted himself.
I still don't know if you want her vet bills because.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. Unbridled Bronco, Blue Furred, Eric Jefferson, Bronco 78, Ryan Woolman, Mobile Moto. Let's see. William DeGroot. Let's see. I know. Honest Smith. Sorry, I'm late. Living in a tree is crazy.
In the jungle?
NDM 84 says I measured my Sasquatch tires today, and the actual width was like 33.8 by 12.
Hey.
Ripped off.
Larger. It was 34 and a half.
I thought this was my intro. It's a good thing you're muted. Green Rush in the house. Andy Ackerman saying, woo, sa, Dave. And thank you for the super chat, sir. Scott Weeson says, late but hello. And Pamela Turkin Baffis and Laura wants to know if we still have the Mustang or not.
We do still have the Mustang, and I've been driving the piss out of that this
Yes,
weekend.
he has.
Loving every minute of it. Since Kelly has a job now, I can relax with that car just a little bit.
I don't have a job just yet.
Well,
it starts Monday. So let's get a little weight off my shoulders this moment from that perspective.
Well, better because we spent some money this week.
I know.
We had a dryer go out, and then my computer.
Yeah, so
we're operating on a new computer.
So quick side note, y'all know how I fixed the dryer 6 months ago?
Go Big Country, y'all know.
Shut up. You know how I fixed it 6 months ago? Apparently something else broke in it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it
Apparently she didn't fix it. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
Apparently you
it has
did not
worked for
fix it.
6 months. Thank you very much.
All right, I gotta let
but I'm pretty sure it was the what's the thing in the dryer?
I don't know. Close.
The belt. I think the belt broke again.
Oh.
So I said screw it.
They're hurting cats, wrangling children.
I understand, Blanco. It is, yes. Ours is
fantastic.
13 and sometimes it's still hurting cats. Let's see. Woo.
And everyone who's asking about Maya, she's good. She's
wild and crazy.
Tonight. Yeah, she's sassy tonight. So she's currently sleeping. So we'll see.
So I know this is one of your favorite questions, Allie. So let's get into this one. Filipino Vegas life. Anyone know how long it'll take for delivery if I order a 2024 fully loaded Badlands nowadays?
Does anyone know when the strike's going to be over?
Yeah, so that's going to be number one.
Ask me how I feel about that today. Open that can of worms.
We're going to get a WTF from Allie all of a sudden?
So that's going to be the number one hindering Filipino Vegas.
We can't build Broncos until they pull their head out of their ass.
They can't build Broncos if there's not people there to build Broncos.
Yeah, sadly, map is down right now.
And then the secondary answer to that is once they go back into production,
they have to catch up.
Months, it could be a couple years.
Are you guys still taking orders on them if people want to order a Bronco?
Yep.
So every dealership can do that. So you could go ahead and put your order in. And then the alley scene where people have gotten Broncos real quick in her area that just ordered them, and then there's been people have to wait. There's no rhyme to reason about the commodity issues they have, so it is what it is from that.
And thank you, Scott, for the congrats on the job. I'm actually really excited about it. The nerd in me is super excited about it. Actually,
her spreadsheet shirt will be worn proudly.
Yes, I won't say who I'm working for, but I'm actually helping them build their reporting from the ground up because they're a company that actually took off in a short period of time, and they took off so fast they didn't have a chance to like build their reporting. And so I'm actually helping them build like their reporting system. And for those that don't understand that, I'm sorry, it's nerd talk.
All right. You guys have to see this. There's no phone numbers. So you have to see Andy just told me to calm the F down.
And thank you for another super chat. Andy says Dave picked up 38 viruses from that website.
I put Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Viruses, man.
Honest says, I just want my Ranger Raptor.
Hey, honest, you're behind me, buddy. I even though I'm having the time of my life in that Mustang, my true love is that mid-sized truck. So
it's honestly so frustrating because it's like, like no one's getting the big picture here at all, and it's so frustrating to me.
Yeah, well, we're Amazon culture, Allie. People there, you have to realize your generation and below now don't understand strikes. They don't understand waiting for things. It's like, I'll just go get it. I know you might, but I'm just saying.
It's not even that. It's like the whole thing with the strike. Like, it's not just.
Oh, kitty alert! Kitty alert!
So this is Gunner. He's a little asshat.
Hi, asshat.
He only likes Maya. Oh, all right.
Hi, asshat.
Oh, is he one of those cats that only likes the dog like ours?
Yeah. He's a dick. He's literally the worst.
Hey, but he's your dick.
I've tried calling him off. I've tried.
I've tried. Our cat.
Anyway, but like the big picture that's missing here, like I'm not saying the UAW workers don't deserve to get paid. The thing is, the 40% is a reach. Like that's ridiculous. No one across the board gets 40%. Just saying. But like now we're going into suppliers are getting laid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw the auto news post. Let me see if I can find that while you're
like this is literally just gonna cause like the biggest ripple effect, and it's like nobody cares. And like I can honestly see this going, like if they don't go back to work in the next week or two, it's going to be after Christmas until they go back. Because they already shut down for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're a month away from that.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, here, go to work for a week or two. They can maybe catch up. Like, this is such a disaster. Why is he still in here? Gunner. He's so weird.
Cats all are weird.
And it's like, I'll probably catch some heat about me not caring about the UAW workers. That's not it.
I mean, clearly you have a passion for the vehicles. It's not just about you selling things. Because I mean, you obviously you have a job to do as well. But you have a passion.
They're not customer facing. They don't have to deal with all the crap that we're getting on a daily basis. Like, no offense, look at all the quality issues that we're having on Mustang, on Bronco, on things like that. So you can't tell me you care about your job when you can't put the car together right.
Yes.
But
hey,
you
I'm reading now.
But you want a 40% pay raise. Okay.
GM workers in Brazil go on strike to protest layoffs.
The thing is, like, why don't you do a quality job and then ask for the pay raise? Not ask for the pay raise and put a half-ass car together when you're paying $60,000.
Yeah, I don't.
Some of these expeditions that even come in, they're rough.
I mean, I've seen some stuff and I love all the people from especially MAP that built the Bronco and stuff, and it'll build the Ranger that we're buying. But no, there are definitely some things, and of course Ford has admitted that. Ford has admitted, hey, we have some quality issues, but the problem is it does get into a UAW, and I'm no expert on the UAW. I'm pretty middle ground on all of this, but I will say Ford's tried to get like the Mustang. They delayed release of that thing because of quality issues. And I'm talking 2 months worth of delays. That's 2 months of cars they had to go store somewhere because they were having some issues. Now, some of that can be designed.
And they're paying for all of that. They're paying for that storage. Like, everybody thinks that they, like, get to store and just do all this stuff for free. That comes with a cost.
Yep.
But it's just, I agree that, hey, I would love quality to be up. I will say, honestly, I think most of these plants are so outdated that it hampers, because if you were to see
You need
The way
right
so the way
tools
Map
to be able to do
the way
it.
Map does, Allie, is if for Nissan, and because I work for Nissan, I understand it's all in house. It's all in no, but it's all in house. Stamping and everything is in house. They don't have to bring craps from some other across town or however. I'm not sure how they do stamping on that particular plant, but framing is done on site. Everything's done on site, and so they can control quality a little bit better. The way Ford and all the big three have been stuck in these old ancient plants. And yes, I do know before people start bitching that they do bring them up, with robotics and everything. They are, but they're limited. Like Map is limited to what they can do because of where it's at.
Yeah.
Like that, and I know it's a historic plant for Ford. It's always built Broncos, which I love, but it's very hampered by they don't have any room. And we're in a modern industry now that takes up these big robotic things, and people, they want an easier job. Robotics help that. Gives you so you need all this space for all this stuff.
Okay, I will say it is really cool how they put the windshields in the Bronco because I did get to see that.
Did you get to see the little thing, bring it in and?
Yeah, and it's just like suction cups.
Did you see it do the bead? The robot should do the bead as well, right? Yeah, that's awesome.
So that part was like really cool, but like, I don't know. It's just like super frustrating because it's like they don't have to deal with the customers every single day.
Right.
I get it.
But it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, granted, everything's tough right now. Like, I don't care what line of work you're in. Like, scratch the UAW, scratch like automakers, like people who work at groceries. I mean, everything has gone up, and now we're going into Christmas time.
Yep.
So, like, that's obviously going to be affected by everyone. Like, I know I couldn't pay my bills on $500 a week for strike pay.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, me and Kelly were talking about it too. I know the UAW has a stockpile of money, and this is the way they're doing this now is completely new. Doing all these plants at one time.
Something.
I don't know if they have the money to make this go long. I think they thought they would cave by now, but I think maybe the play is for the big three is like, all right, let's wait it out. No. But I think they would be like, hey, let's wait it because the big three has a lot more money than the UAW does. And with them laid off, they're not. I know with layoffs, the company still has to pay a portion of that money, but it's a lot less than what the UAW is gonna have to do. But it's there's no right or wrong answer, unfortunately, because we all don't, or most of us don't have to work in these conditions. But I feel for everybody involved. I feel for the working guy involved because in many cases you may not have a choice. I know sometimes you just have to join the union. It's a union plant. You do it, and maybe your opinions are different from that, and maybe you're pro union and just you think it's doing right. What do we got here?
So this one's fun. Let's talk about the dealerships marking up cars. Has nothing to do with Ford. Has to do with the dealership.
Yes.
The dealership's taking that money. Ford is not. My favorite comment was, it wasn't in here. Someone had said, hey, let's fire Farley and we can take that. Okay, let's take his $20 million that he makes, divides it by all the UAW workers. Okay, here's $113 a year.
Yep.
Why don't you take that and go? Like, it's so fresh because it's so dumb. Like,
yeah, not to say that 20 million is the number that should be happening, but it's not going to. People don't realize how short of a distance that goes in the long scheme of how many people are involved.
And this is my favorite one too. The 32-hour. I get this one and I also don't at the same time. The reason why they're asking for 32 hours is because the line keeps, like, they may not get 40 hours in a week because the line shuts down for 3 days because they don't have the parts. So do I get it? Yeah, but asking for a 32-hour work week, I haven't worked 32 hours since I was in high school. Like, I don't remember the last time I worked 32 hours.
I will say there is wear and tear on your body in working these jobs, these hands. But I will say that they have come a long way since even just my parents were working, because I know we've talked about this on how much my parents, they made good money when I was growing up, but they also are paying for it in their elder age because my mom's had at least one knee replacement. They want to do the second, but she refuses to have a second knee replacement done. Because she had such a hard recovery with the last one. My mom has had one, if not two, hand surgeries. My dad has had a hand surgery. Like, My mom's had back surgery. Like, what?
Call that a hand job?
Like,
Sorry.
like I know my grandpa's body is like nowhere near perfect, and because like I kind of talked to him about it a little bit, just because he was asking how it was affecting like the dealership.
Yeah.
And it's like Ford had enough stockpiled because I knew that they were kind of planning on it. But at the same time, it's like, it's still frustrating because like this is gonna hurt us more in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, the right now the suppliers are the ones. They're a few of them are about to go bankrupt.
Well, Gia works for a supplier, and she said it's getting tough.
Yeah.
She said they're
like I finally had 3 of my customers laid off, and that's the thing. Like they had to back out of their orders.
Yeah.
Because of that. So now we have that issue that we're gonna start running into, and it's just I don't know.
Well, I feel like it's a dozen to 2 dozen people with each company, and then a dozen or so with UAW. That I know the new leadership, they want to act like the everman, which is fun and fine. You don't get that position being the everman all the time, but I feel like at some point it's this sounds crass, but it's a dick measuring contest of who is the bigger man here, and that's what I feel like. That's the way the UAW president's coming off to me right now. It's like,
I think he's super arrogant, and I think he's making a fool of himself at this point.
Well, the thing that concerns me though is, his comments where he goes, "I want these companies to hurt," and I said it last week. I don't understand that comment.
American people, so good luck with that.
Yeah, and I don't understand that comment though, because if you ruin these companies or really put a pinch to them, now they got to supposedly pay up to 40% more for the employees. Oh, and guess what? We're not profitable now suddenly, or we got another year and a half to get back to profitability or whatever.
They can talk about how profitable they were, but they're also not talking. I'm not saying like the top 3 are not profitable. They had a great couple of years, but let's face it, it's not going to last.
Yeah,
it's not.
Well, they're paying for development of EV vehicles too.
Exactly. Like all that money is literally going to the next step of this, and that's like what a lot of people aren't getting either. And I'm just like, I'm not saying I'm an expert on UAW and everything. I'm just going for like what you deal with at the dealership on a daily basis. So,
well, and I do want us to talk about this because I don't want this to get buried in the comment section, because I want us to be clear on this. It's not that we're necessarily and this is my opinion. You guys can chime in on your opinion on this, but it's not that the 32 hours and a 40% raise is, we understand it's negotiating, but the problem is there's been no movement on the UAW side. They keep asking for the same thing over and over again when there's
Ford
been
and everyone has come up. I think Ford made a great last offer, 100. I think they did. And
so I think that's why people are sticking on this 32-hour work week and a 40% raise, because there's not been negotiating when this is what it's supposed to be, is a negotiation.
Well, and just Scott
comment so far up his ass.
Well, to Scott's comment here, 250 billion profits in the last 10 years for the big 3. But you know what that doesn't say is they have shareholders they have to pay to. They have to pay dividends. They have to people that invest in your company.
How much is this battery plant costing? It's costing billions.
Oh no, the battery plants are I think $5 billion each, something like that. Plus they're getting government assistance on that as well.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that.
And now the thing that really bothers me is now, Ford, I think companies are starting to see their people aren't buying EVs, and this is a whole nother topic, but
yeah,
I think these companies are thought, oh man, when the Lightning orders took off, they were like, okay, we're going to open up 2 plants for this because we want to build 600,000 a year of this thing. And I always thought that number was like ridiculous. I was like, yeah, that's nuts. But hey, Ford, you do you. But I think now with them seeing Lightning sitting on shelves, just, the take rate's low on vehicles like that, they have employees they have to pay to build those. They have UAW employees to build those things. And if nobody's buying that vehicle, we're like, oh, we got to pump the brakes on that. And I think that's part of why they paused the Michigan battery plant. They wanted to let's we got the strike and everything. Let's just pause that right now because the one in Kentucky is nearly framed up, ready to go. But ultimately, guys, I don't work in the industry for what you guys do. I did do auto manufacturing. I didn't have union representation. It's a bummer. Maybe for Nissan didn't have it, but it is what it is. Scott says Ford didn't change their last offer to the UAW, then gave and paid $600 million in dividends. Well, the dividends is what it is. You have a responsibility to your shareholders. That's
So there's
I don't justify
right
that,
there.
Scott, but it is what it is. You have to.
Yeah, you have to pay it.
You have to pay that stuff, man. If you've been profitable, you got shareholders over there wanting to get a little piece of that pie as well. And 600 million to how many shares do they have? And then what depends on the class of shares that you have to what your dividends get paid out. Once again, I'm not here to fix the problem. I'm here to report on the problem. It just seems like a shit show. Both sides right now just seem like a shit show.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I do hope it gets worked out. We're not here to piss anybody off. I know we have a large Ford employee following. I love you guys, man. I think you guys build badass vehicles. And I always tell everybody, Kelly, get what you can get when you negotiate.
Yep.
When I always tell employees for me, they come to my office to work. I always tell them, they're like, hey, what do you make an hour? It's every, dick measuring contest. Once again, I have zero issues telling people what I make per hour in my industry, because I tell my employees that you get what you negotiate for, know your worth.
Yeah.
And clearly the UAW thinks they know their worth, and it will come down to that. And we got better things to talk about, man. We got some off-roading things. I don't want to get on another WTF. We can't have two in one night. But and Allie's pretty passionate over there about this, so I don't want to see everybody get pissed off at all of us for
no, and that's the thing.
control.
I have a ton of Ford friends that are now my family, and like we can have open conversations about it. And it's like they've even admitted, they're like, you're right, we're not customer facing, so they don't have to deal with the bullets thrown at them every single day. I wish they did, but they don't. But I mean, I don't know. I just think it needs to come to an end here soon. So.
Yeah, Honest is fired up in there. I think the timing for all of this, though, I mean, because we just got like UPS was trying to strike somebody else. Not that who gives a shit about actors and writers. I don't care about that, but there's like this.
Detroit are now striking too, and like they just did this whole thing that they're striking together. It's like, get what you can get. I totally agree with that, and I support that 100%. But at the same time, like eventually, enough is enough. Like, I mean, I truly don't know how people are dealing with $500 a week.
No, I don't have a WTF for this, because once again, I don't have a skin in this fight. I just report on the news. But we'll leave it at that, guys. I know everybody's passionate about it, and like I said, I have a lot of people from Michigan that are getting affected by this, so you should be passionate about it. I don't care what side you're on. You should love your industry, and if you're getting excited by this conversation, that means you love your industry, and that's a good thing. So if we can all boil down to that, get what you can get and love what you do. So Allie, Kelly,
drink.
It came out that news broke today on. I'll bring it up here. Let me throw this up here for everybody else.
Where are we going?
Nobody don't know what we're talking about, but the Safari, the Bronco Safari, may be maybe not. I won't say no longer, but it's definitely not going to be. It looks like this coming year.
It's not going to be official this year. Not saying people aren't going to go out there that weekend anyway.
Yeah,
I will say this: that if they catch them unofficially, large groups, they can fine them for that.
Well, I know in Michigan, I think it's 20 people per group. So as long as you follow the rules.
Well, but so because it's mostly national land or federal land out there, if they catch, I think it's larger than 20.
They close some of the trails.
Well, that's coming too. But as long as you keep it under 20 vehicles, I think they can't call that an event or official meetup. But I know this because I had to deal with some of this within a Nissan group, and they were trying to go, well, we'll just show up anyways. And then it's like, no, the event was like, please do not do that, because they're going to come at us. So be very aware of what's going on. But this was on Bronco 6G, the 24 Bronco Safari at Moab permit denied, 30 days to appeal. And
but when's the event? Technically,
they didn't. My understanding, they didn't even, the Safari didn't even have anybody representation.
They didn't.
Show up.
I read the article before the show tonight, and they did not have representation.
Which that's kind of poor on them.
Especially when a lot of places are getting their permits denied. That would be
312 miles of trails have been closed.
That's crazy.
Well, we have a very this happened during the Obama administration too, and I'm not talking politics. It's just certain sides have more. Their passion is to protect lands than other sides, and they tried to close a bunch of stuff down during that. I will say this too. Companies like REI are all about this. So just remember that where you buy your equipment from. REI is big into closing trails. They want them for just foot traffic and this and that. And can you imagine how many dinosaur tracks or anything you would never get to see in Moab? Because who's hiking 100 miles?
No one's going to do that.
You know what I
Right.
mean? There's a lot of history that you don't get to see, and you need to travel that. Now, I will say this, and part of if I can get this damn thing to show up, I will say it looks like last year's event was not as friendly as it should have been. That
Oh yeah.
maybe there looked like there was a confrontation with some locals. There it is. All right, so this is the Moab Sun News. Kelly, you want to kind of give us, since you read this, you want to give us the highlight?
You didn't read it?
I did read it, but you were commenting about it.
Yeah, so this is actually an article, the Moab Sun News. So it's actually their local paper, I assume.
You think there's a little paper boy?
Yes.
Just one out there?
Just one that goes out to all the different places in hopes he doesn't die.
Oh,
in the
and
heat.
by the way, we saved you, Moab. I stomped out a fire downtown. You remember that?
No?
Yeah, me, you, and Corbin. It was-
Only
we were
you
at
can stop
Zach-
forest fires.
That's right, only Dave can. At Zach's Pizza, we were coming out, and there was a field across. There was a Tesla Superchargers, and somebody probably threw their cigarette out or whatever, and grass was wild, little fire grass.
How do I not remember that at all?
Yeah, man. We called 911 to report it, and me and Corbin were out there stomping the fire. Anyways,
I don't think that happened.
your good
'cause I
deed
don't
of the day was
remember it.
brought to you by White Knuckle Off-Road
Smokey
Products.
the Bear sticker.
I think he's
If
lying.
you think of stomping out fires, you think of White Knuckle Off-Road
I'll ask
Products.
Corbin and I'll report back next week.
All right.
See if it's true.
Gia, Smokey Dave.
So,
Smoke it. Go ahead, Kelly.
are you done now?
Maybe. That was not me.
So there was a county commission meeting on the 17th of October, and they were actually reviewing proposals for this upcoming spring for events. And so what they actually have to do is they have to get a pre-approval to actually even apply, because it's a lengthy process to apply, I guess.
You know what this has all over? HOA. There's a Karen out
Oh,
there.
for sure.
There's a Karen out there that you're not.
Karens are gonna
For sure.
Karen.
But in the
Moab
article,
Karen.
it says, we have these predetermination meetings to see if you can even apply, because it's such a lengthy process to put in their application. And so Bronco Safari was shut down, or was said, nope, can't happen, because last year there were a number of complaints the last time it was held. I'm getting there. I was
Okay.
finding it.
I'm sorry.
A number of complaints last year when it was having, including participants driving above the speed limits on the Old Spanish
Which-
Trail Arena.
That one strikes me. That's private property.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Minor property damage and a Bronco participant altercation with a softball parent.
what does that mean?
Here's what I'm going to say. As a softball parent,
We're assholes.
it's actually really easy to get into an altercation with a softball parent.
I don't know who's worse, hockey parents or softball parents.
Right. So for me, I'm like, who started it? Like, yeah, could have been the Bronco person, could have been the softball parent. It could have gone either way. But it made them hesitant about, approving the event for them to even put in an application.
But all this BS, this is not exclusive to Broncos. I want everybody to know this.
Yeah.
After COVID, they got to shut they've been
Yeah.
wanting to do this for a long time. They would love Moab to just be mountain biking and stuff like that. I'm telling you, they would love that more than anything. All your summer help that comes in, or a lot of them are just mountain bikers, stuff like that, and just out there to party and have fun and make a couple dollars. But Moab's been itching to do this for a long time. They got a new city council member in there, and I'm not going to, because I don't know all the politics of it.
Let's
But
call her
from what I
Karen.
can gather of it, it's a Karen. And I think it's a guy, but it's a what they call Steve or something. I don't know. What you
Well,
call
but
that,
we know that friends of ours that were putting on the Gone Moab event,
which is a Nissan event.
which is
there.
a Nissan event there, they didn't get re-upped either.
But that was last
And
year.
That was last year. So those are SUVs as well.
And it mentions the ATV guys, the Moab.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting about this one. This one is called the Red Rock Roundup, a guided UTV off-road weekend in partnership with Red Cliffs Lodge, which for the Bronco off-rodeo folks, that's actually the hosting lodge there for off-rodeo.
Yes.
But actually, further down in the article, it says they were hesitant about this UTV because the city doesn't like having UTVs, and it's going to bring 300 UTVs is what it's expecting, or side-by-sides, but yet they still approved them to go ahead and put in an application with qualifications that they have to check with two surrounding county, or like Green River, or a town of Green River and Emery County, before moving forward. So it's interesting to me that they just quickly kind of went, absolutely not. But yet this one, they're like, well, maybe we might let you in.
Well, I know there's been a couple Toyota events get kicked out of there over the years, and they were pretty rowdy. And I will say Moab is a small little town.
It is tiny.
In the winter, it's probably just 5,000 people, maybe. Like it's a pretty small town. And you know, the off-road community brings in a lot of money to this town. I mean, you were talking before this of there's a lot of new hotels that were been sprung up through there. How would you like to be one of the owners of those hotels now? And suddenly you've got off-road Karen out there going, not in my town. And you're like, I just paid how many millions of dollars to build this thing? Because they're nice hotels too.
Well, and there's Airbnbs like crazy there. And there are, you know, these businesses. So for those that don't know Moab well enough, they don't really operate to anyone outside of the community. What is it, like July and August? There's really not many people there because you can't really live there.
Yeah, you can go, but it's hot as hell. But no, yeah, they're
But then in the winter, they're not. Yeah, they're not really open.
I would say probably March to June is a peak, and then probably October now till November or somewhere.
So really like 6 months out of the year. Yeah. So these people are banking on that kind of money to come in. So it's definitely interesting.
Well, you know, too, you're dealing with, like I said, tourism. I mean, Moab before all this in the 50s, 60s was they were mining uranium there. It was, I mean, that was a big deal when we were in the Cold War and we needed uranium. But now tourism is what keeps that town around.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to me that in general, Moab in general can't somehow set up some standards. Here's our standards. You have to have, and you could make it ridiculous. Hey, we need you know, a first responder on site at the arena at all time. You know, make it there be a hoop to jump through. But we discussed this. I don't understand is maybe you get a warning.
Yeah.
If there was a rowdy group, which I have a feeling there was. I know the
for sure.
The Jeep event does keep their people in line really well because
they've been there a really long time.
But they've over the years had to learn, hey, because they've been threatened to get kicked out too. But it just bothers me on for the Bronco community that they didn't seem to get a warning. Now I'm saying this, I'm half talking out of my ass because I haven't got the full story. But it just seems like from what I've read tonight, the articles, because I have like 6 different articles up here, that maybe the community should have got a warning, or you said, look, there's a bond you have to post, $100,000. What I don't know what would be like, hey, this is serious. You post this bond or you lose it if you don't act right.
Yeah.
But it's sad to me, and I'm curious what you guys think about this, because as Kelly, was there anything else in this article you wanted to kind of touch on?
They approved, let's see. Here's the breakout. So the Moab Rocks, Running Up for Air, Fallen Police Officer Trail, Ride Cruise Moab, Grand Fondo, Raptors on the Rocks was approved, and John Wayne Grit Series were all approved unanimously. Yep. Bronco Safari denied unanimously. And here's the one that's the new event. About 304 side-by-sides are expected, approved 4-3. With those being the folks in opposition. And then this one was approved unanimously, and we'll discuss it further. So it's really interesting when you see these kinds of things that are getting shut down, because this is where we tell you all, tread lightly, respect the trail. These are the exact reasons why we say to be respectful where you go and when you're off-roading, because these cities want to shut down 4x4
in the worst
access.
way.
Yeah. Well, you know what's sad for Moab, though? Colorado's just 100, 200 miles away. Guess what's going to happen? Telluride they kept with the FJ Summit. They didn't have problems with the FJ Summit, and they gave back to that. And a lot of these events do. I know with the Nissan event, tried to give back what they could. It wasn't a huge event, but they did try to give back to the town. The FJ Summit used to give thousands and thousands of dollars back to Telluride as a thank you.
Yep.
And you got a town over there now. Obviously, they don't want to be crammed with everybody, but they've done big events there. It's not that far away. There's towns outside of Moab that might want to start doing this, and it just kind of bums me out because I love Moab. I think I've been 4 times. Each time is special. When you see Moab,
we have a problem, guys. We figured it out. It's all Jeep drivers.
Yeah,
or they're bikers.
Well, and you know the you talking about the side by side thing.
Yeah,
I've had more, and nothing against side by side people, but I've ultimately on trails had more issues with side by side people.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes, and not this is a generality, but sometimes they're the least educated people for off-roading. A lot of times it's just somebody that goes and rents one. You know what I mean? They don't have a needing skill set or knowing skill set for off-roading. Let's go rent one. We've had them run into vehicles on trails, so that kind of bums me out.
You mean because it's easy? They're easier to get.
Yeah, it's
what you mean
easy
by that.
to obtain or rent one, and yeah. So what we got here, Mark King?
I would go to this because I mean that town is really small.
Oh yeah, it is very small. Mark, how'd the hotel turn out?
Yeah,
you survived. You're here, right? I guess.
So among your own accord.
So funny story. So let me find the text that Mark sent to me the other day when he checked into Badlands. Okay. Says, so well, if I disappear, it's because I didn't choose camping. And he stayed at the
looks like
Attica
a roadside motel.
No, it's the Attica Inn. It's the only hotel that's in Attica.
I know, but I'm just saying it looks
hotel,
like
motel, whatever. And I told him he needed to make sure he washed everything when he got home because who knows. So obviously you're still here, so that's a good sign.
I mean, I tried to plan a trip out there this year. And this was like last year when I was planning it. There's just even Airbnbs, there was like 2.
Yes.
And it was like,
one was like sketch as hell.
That it was in the middle of nowhere, but I'm just like, oh my Lord.
Thank you, Mobile. Somebody caught on.
What?
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Kind of wrap up on the safari part of this thing. I want to share this. They need to update their website though.
Mark said it was actually very clean.
But they're still showing what to expect for 24. If I got this news, the last thing I would do is have that up. I might say, hey, pending or something.
Yes.
Because we, as people who put on events, we always took it very seriously I guess I could post that up there so people can see. We always took it. These are people's vacations. I took it very, very seriously.
Yes.
I didn't want to ever ruin somebody's vacation. Trust me, I worked my ass off for a whole week to make sure people, enjoyed their time.
We actually had people that would beg us for us to let them help because we
just
were running ragged.
I'm hoping leadership of whoever runs this, because I don't know who runs Bronco Safari. But I hope they can update this, and I hope they can come to some sort of understanding with Moab proper, and they get this figured out, because it's sad. I know Bronco Nation love going out there. I know a lot of vendors, big vendors, Diabolical love going to that.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to get out there this year, and well, not on my planning now. I can tell you that.
Well, the thing they have going for them is that they do have 30 days to appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So what that looks like, that appeal process looks like, I don't know. I will say in the article, the article said that the board was impressed with one of the presentations, or one of the ones that they approved.
Who is this board? Impressed. It's a freaking application, man. Like and I'm assuming they have to have here's what we need for permitting. You probably a list of medical stuff like that. So I
get it. These were the people that went above and beyond,
Yeah.
like I would do. And this one would just be like, well, the paper says to fill this out.
No, I would hand it to you. Let's be honest.
You would. You'd hand it to me, and then I'd fill it out. And then
You're my brain,
top.
Kelly. Come on.
I know.
But yeah, so I'm curious, what is everybody? There we go. We're hoping to appeal the appeal process, because this is you guys. This is kind of in your home court there, Bronco. It's a shame, man, because Allie, I'm telling you, Moab is such a special place, man. When you just go to Moab, you don't have to do any off-roading. It's just driving around that whole area just something special, man. And you can go to what Arches and all that. That's
Yeah,
fun.
honestly, one of the years we went, we actually only off-roaded one day, and then we like spent one day just in the little downtown, kind of walking around doing our thing, and then another day we went to the Arches, just driving around in our rental car.
It's a shame. I'm gonna miss Zach's Pizza.
Oh man,
Zach's Pizza's good, man.
yeah, their ranch dressing's delicious too.
Yeah, it is.
Scott says we know who the brains are.
Good night,
Eric.
sir.
Thanks for joining.
Go sell some Fords, buddy.
Valley Dude 5000 says, do you plan on using the ATN live channel?
I was thinking about that today. I'm trying to work out the bugs on that. I want to move this over there eventually, but this is monetized. That's not, and I need to get content going over there to monetize that. But that's a placeholder for right now. So we appreciate it. I think there's like,
so if you are
70,
subscribed, please stay subscribed.
Yeah, I think there's 70 subscribers over there right now. I need 100 is what
to lock in the name
to lock it in. So,
and it's a sister channel. If you look on YouTube, it actually shows like related channels. Scott says, pretty sure I'm doing United by Bronco.
I've heard good things about that. Me and Luke with Lifestyle Ford were talking about that last weekend.
Were you at?
Yeah. He was talking about wanting to do that.
Whatchamacallit?
The wheeling looks really cool.
And where is that located?
Southern Utah, if I remember right. I know Bronco's been there, if I remember right.
Oh, Filipino Vegas Life. I have cup holders in the back of my Badlands and my MGV, but I have an IAG cup holder.
Yeah, we have an aftermarket. What else? What
Washington, Utah. Sand Hollow.
Oh, lots of Sand Hollows now. There you go.
So it's in Sand Hollow.
What I think though, what needs to happen, maybe there needs to be a what is it when you get the people to sign their name to
waiver?
No, not a waiver. For trying to get change made.
Oh, petition?
Petition, yes. Maybe the community needs to get together and do something like that. I would hope the organizers of the event would do, maybe come up with some of these ideas. Yes. I would love to have I would love to have one of the organizers come on, and trust me, I would reach out to Moab. I would reach out and try to get one of the council members on here to not debate them, but just, I would love to have their side of the story. Cause I'm sure there's a legit, even though I poke fun at it and say it's a Karen thing, I'm sure, and sorry to any Karens in the chat tonight. I'm sure they have legitimate reasons. They don't want to see their little town destroyed, Right. I totally understand that. But I think if you're based around tourism now, it'd be like Gatlinburg or kicking Dollywood out because they're like, whoa. Well, we don't do the rides.
But I do wonder if there have been problems in the past from Bronco Safari that they didn't, or that maybe they addressed and said, hey, you're on thin ice, and maybe last year was the catalyst for it. Like, we don't know, obviously, because we only know what's in the article and what kind of what has happened there. So
what is Bryce asking? I've never been
to Coronado.
Colorado?
I don't know. I probably missed something of that.
Same.
I'm sure there's some. They're all drinking now based on me saying some. They probably have a side chat of some sort where if we can get Dave to say this stupid word, like
probably it's probably on Discord.
Could be. So guys, where you at with it? Let us know in the comments below. Like I said, if you guys want, I will reach out to some official in Moab and just get their official stance on this, man. I don't think it would hurt. Maybe they would do it. Maybe not.
Maybe not have a WTF moment.
Well, maybe. And Bronco
yeah,
Safari,
see, that's where I don't know that he's not gonna have a WTF moment.
I've done this for over 10 years. I'm pretty sure I know when to cool it. Andy will text me. It'll be all right.
Valley Dude 5000 says, what's one thing that's a must do in Nashville? The Ryman.
Not go to Nashville.
The Ryman.
Yeah, if they do it, the Ryman tour.
The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame's fun too.
Never been. I remember the original Hall of Fame when it was basically as big as our house.
Yeah.
When what?
When it was about as big as our house.
Oh.
Used to be on Music Row. Nashville. Let's see. What else would you do in Nashville? The Ryman tour. I know our buddy.
The Opryland Hotel was fun to see.
Who's our Maryland buddy that's in the chat from time to time?
Andrea
did the tour. He loved the tour, man. Of the Ryman.
It's so cool. So cool.
And where the Ryman's at now, I did a big development there. Justin Timberlake has a bar right across the street now. It's a whole big complex.
Yeah, what is it? What's it called? 3rd and Broadway.
I don't know. Broadway
Something.
itself.
It's across from the GEC. Well, it's not the GEC anymore. What is it? What's it called now? Bridgestone. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be the Gaylord Entertainment Center, but now it's Bridgestone. So you've lived here for a while.
Downtown Nashville would be fun for a night for me.
Yes.
Personally, I mean, and maybe I'm not that bar hopping crowd anymore, but there's a lot to do for that.
Dollywood is actually in East Tennessee. It's actually near Gatlinburg.
We used to have something called Opryland.
We did. That was fun.
Yeah, and they killed that.
And then they made it into a mall.
It's now a mall.
And the mall you can't always go to.
Yeah,
it's not very
It's a little
safe.
dangerous at night.
Yeah. But yeah, from a Nashville standpoint, those would be the things that I would go to. There's a bunch of like named bars for country music stars and things like that. A lot of people really rave about that because there's always
Kid Rock.
There's the thing. There's always live music somewhere down on Broadway.
Yeah.
So
and
just pop in a bar.
They shut it down too, so you can walk the street down
on the weekends. I think so.
There's pedal bars. Those probably would be fun.
There's lots to do touristy, but definitely if you want like the grittiness of what Music City was built on, definitely go to Tootsie's because that's historic. Make a reservation of the Bluebird Cafe.
Well, that's out
which is
town,
it's out of town, but it's in Nashville still. And out of town is the Loveless Cafe too. And then the Ryman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Natchez Parkway is fun to drive if you're driving around there. We have a big old arch bridge. I think it's the largest on the East Coast, maybe.
I think so. And yes, you can tour the Gibson, but I think that one that they do the tours out of is maybe at the mall. You'll have to look it up.
I think you can call Gibson Guitars and they do tours there. It's not where it used to be. When I used to go to Gibson when I was in the music business, they've moved it. It's right off of
what's the name of that record store?
Jack Black's.
Black's.
Not Jack Black.
No, Jack White.
Yeah, Jack White has a record store there.
Jack White record store. That one's fun too. Those are the kinds of things that, or 12th
Importer.
No, 12th. Is it 12th Avenue, 12th something?
You can
Sisters Donuts or Sisters.
You can tell we don't go downtown much.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of really fun stuff to do, but I recommend those like little offshoot like.
I think me and you've only went downtown proper maybe to meet.
Well, it's when we could still.
But to meet friends and like.
So in our early dating days, we could actually rent a hotel for like less than $100, and then we could cab it because there wasn't a ton of Uber if there was even Uber then. And then we could go to the bars, and then we could Uber back, and we would do it for less than $300 for a night. But now it's $300 or $400 just for the hotel.
Yeah,
it's not good for us locals. Five Daughters Donuts. Thank you, Jessica. That's it. There's Five Daughters Donuts, which is really, really good. They're like croissants built into
Broken Lizard says, I love Chattanooga. I've had a great time hiking there. Chattanooga reminds me a lot of like a small Colorado town.
And it's very hippie.
Yeah. And just don't go too far off the
beaten path.
Yeah. There is a little not danger, but there is a hobo situation a little bit there. But they seem to be pretty nice too. They don't really bug you.
But yeah, so that we just totally went on a Nashville tangent, and we don't ever go to Nashville,
and we don't go to Memphis at all. So there you go.
Don't ask us about Memphis. I went to the zoo one time when our daughter was real little, and that's the extent.
To the zoo and saw. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
went
just
to you can go
trucking.
The Elvis thing, but I think people are so like.
It's important to do it once in your life to be able to say you went, but it's not as exciting.
No, but it's not. It's an old house now.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's important to have gone at least one time to say you went. But other than that, it's no. Go to the thing during the day and then leave.
Yes, because it's in a bad area.
Keep driving towards Nashville.
Graceland is not in a good area anymore.
No. Oh, wow.
And that Tennessee was brought to you by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. If you think of Tennessee and sliding down things, you think White Knuckle Off-Road Products.
Jessica said, starring all of these spots on Google Maps, just in case.
There you go.
Oh, man. Allie, when are you doing some off-roading? Well, you've been kind of quiet. I know you're taking care of your buddy over there, but
I've been just trying to survive over here and my dog.
Yeah.
any new cabinets in the house? Anything fun going on there?
No, my master bathroom should finally be finished, hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. Even though I'm not sleeping in my master bedroom right now because Maya is terrified of it. I don't know if she remembers the seizure. She will not go in my room.
Really?
Nope.
Will they let her have any like puppy leaves to calm her nerves or anything like that?
I have no idea.
Puppy weed?
She is coming off prednisone starting tomorrow, where we have to switch it to like every other day. So we'll see if she starts getting a little bit more normal, or if this is her new normal. We don't really know.
I will say, I know when I'm on prednisone, I have ragey issues. So I'm sure her behavior is going to change in a good way.
Are you about to hit me? Is that what you're going to do?
No.
I don't know, but this light keeps like turning on and off, and it's freaking me out.
It's freaking us out, and we're here.
Oh, Broken Lizard worked for VW down in Chattanooga.
Oh.
No, it is not a Chucky in the back. Oh my God. I do love that y'all pay attention to what
it does look like a Chucky.
No, it's Buddy Lee, man.
Oh,
Lee
like
Dungarees.
You need to look it up.
Those commercials when I was a kid made me laugh so much.
So we were dating, and we were married because we weren't dating that long. Might have been our first Christmas that I got you that.
They have like, it was an old 1920s doll.
Yeah.
That they used to sell and had Lee Dungarees on it. And I wanted one of these little dolls. I don't know why. It's just, every once in a while, everybody gets an itching for something silly.
Random.
And I wanted this doll, but I think at the time they were a couple $100.
Well, he mentioned it, and I'm a really bad gift giver. So
awful.
If he gives me ideas and I remember to write it down, then that's what he's getting. There's no swaying. There's no like.
And I'm an amazing gift giver.
He is a great.
I love gift giving. It's literally a problem.
I'm terrible at it.
Allie, I would take a new Bronco if you're itching to give a gift. It's the gift. It's the gift of love. I mean.
Let me finish paying for my dog.
Well, it's funny because it's the analytical side of me that's like, I like to give what you want, and I know, and I can't think outside that. Like, I can't color outside that line is the problem. But so I couldn't get him.
Scott gets it.
True story. So I couldn't get him a doll, but I ended up finding this.
Which I love that.
And I got it for him for Christmas, and he actually liked it. So,
no, I did add this. This is from Cincinnati Reds, 1960s,
which I found in our daughter's closet.
You know how I knew where it was, but you know how they do like giveaways? You go to a ballpark, they just hand you something silly. This was something it was a little piggy bank that they handed.
Has mobile oil on the back.
Yeah. And so that's a new addition.
Jessica Dunn thanked us for showing it to her because she said she was going to have ATN nightmares.
For real though.
Little bastard's trying to kill him.
It looks like freaking Chucky.
Yeah, it's not. Probably with that orange in the background does not help things either.
No, not really.
You know, a Freddy Krueger mask.
No.
Can we not? That'd be.
I know. I'm not a Halloween person, and it's her favorite time of year.
We got engaged on Halloween
because I knew it was once again perfect gift giver. I knew it was your perfect time of year.
Oh my Lord!
Slid that rock on them fingers.
Anyway,
that's right.
The other thing we got to talk about before we run out of time.
Oh, what you got?
Rebel Rally.
Oh,
I forgot.
That is right.
Hold on.
I was dealing with his WTF.
I had it pulled up and then I closed out of it. So a huge congratulations to Ford. They did a pretty good job.
Like you said, a huge congratulations, and they did a pretty good job.
I'm sorry, they did an amazing job. I'm trying to multitask.
I got you.
Where'd it go?
Oh, Bird Dog, I'm so glad to hear. Bird Dog said Witten has improved since prednisone was reduced.
Yay!
Good. For those that don't know, Bird Dog is kind of in the same boat as Allie with his pup. Has a brain tumor, and so they're dealing with it.
Just with he's
they think.
And that's usually a really good indicator.
Apparently, it's super common.
Yeah, I'm learning that it's actually super common. And Dave pulled it up.
I got you.
Yeah, so this is the 4x4 class. So as you can see, there's two different classes.
So Rivian did take first place.
Yep.
In 4x4.
Hey, that's a big deal for an EV.
That is a big deal.
It is. I was actually very impressed with how they were performing because I was kind of like following them too. Just
and it was bone stock.
Yeah. It was fascinating to me, honestly. And then second place was a Jeep Wrangler 4xe.
So 2 electrified.
And then in third place, we had Laura and Maria in the 2022 Bronco Raptor bone stock. So congratulations, girls. Y'all killed it.
Man, top 5 though. There's Shelby
top 6.
Yep. Well, and that's not, I don't think that the Wild Track, was that a factory sponsored?
It was.
Okay.
So bone stock.
I think mostly everything was bone stock. I mean, for the ones I was following. And there was 27 rookies this year that all did fairly well. For being a rookie, I think, hold on. Who's in 14th?
Oh.
A Toyota. So they were rookies this year, and they took 14th place. And being a rookie, that's awesome.
The next 3 are rookies. See
Yeah.
So that part was really cool. And then in X-Cross, first place for the 3rd year in a row for Melissa. But 4th year in a row for Ford.
Look at the score.
Bronco Sport Badlands. And then there was a BMW that took 2nd place and a Telluride X Pro that took 3rd place. And I think the Mach-E took 5th. Yeah.
Yep.
So very nice job.
Yeah. And our friend Jill Simonillo got 9th.
Here's what's funny about the BMW. For those of you that have seen the channel will understand this joke. It's going to be great for about 4 years, and then you won't be able to drive. You won't be able to depend on it driving out of the driveway.
They may not depend on it driving home.
Well, I mean, for that, after it's done that crazy drive. But yeah, Jill Simonillo and Kristen Shaw, friends of ours that are journalists. This is their 2nd year, coming in 9th, and then where are other friends of ours, Mercedes and Emily, coming in 8th. Also, Mercedes is this. I believe this is their.
She's done it for a few years.
3rd or 4th
I wish they
year.
put on the side how many years they've completed.
Yeah, I wish they would too, 4th year or whatever.
Yeah.
But super cool.
But it was honestly so much. I did not get work done while watching them.
And they have some good videos too. I think on the website. Their
lives were pretty good.
Bye, Mark. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, sir.
And Paul, I forgot to answer Paul's question earlier. Yes, she does watch the Mika Husky videos.
And Bryce asked if you asked about the Ford F550 King Ranch trim package.
They're not going to do that. They don't build enough of those.
Oh yeah, how did Amanda and Jackie do?
They were in 40th, I think. They did really good.
Since I don't have the website up anymore.
For being rookies, that's great.
Well, that's the thing with being rookies, and I think Jackie jumped into it 40 days prior.
Wow.
So, they didn't have in-car time together until that event. So I'm sure learning how to communicate, I'm sure there was a lot of things they had to overcome, which if you're not dead last, you're doing something, especially when it comes to being in the desert, no GPS, no nothing, and you have to do 1,600 miles. It's a lot of driving.
Right. Well, we say congratulations to all the ladies out there doing that. That's a
That was
pretty badass
fantastic.
deal. And a big commitment, because it's not just a commitment of the week that you're doing it or the week and a half, whatever it is. They do a couple of training weeks out there too.
Yes.
So they have to
And
learn.
it's a financial commitment to it too. I mean, I think it's like $15,000. So
Well, to enter, I think, is 30 for
mm,
sponsorship, or I think for the parrots, 30 grand. That's why there's a lot of auto journalists in there, because they can get the manufacturers
yeah, that's true.
on their side.
What else you got, folks?
Yeah, you guys got anything else tonight?
Yeah, Jackie did have 2 to 3 weeks worth of training.
Questions, comments, let us know. I'm scared I might go on another WTF at any moment. So
I'm too tired for that now.
I was too tired before he started the first one.
Well, I didn't mean to get that excited, but it hit a nerve, and I had to let it out. And we do know Ford does occasionally
better on the channel than on me.
I'd like I would like to see Ford hear people fuss. They watch this stuff, and I know they pay attention to the channel, and not for us. I was trying to say this earlier. I don't want any thing for us. Like, I don't need a phone call going, "Hey, we got you taken care of." I just want them to be aware of, hey, man, this is 2 dealerships in a 20-mile radius that have just treated us not the best.
That's true.
So pass that. Kelly, your new studio setup, how's it working out?
Pretty good. It's a little high.
Yeah,
it's got some adjustments to be made.
We'll make some. We'll work that out a little bit.
It's a good idea. It's just a little high.
We have nothing coming up.
We don't.
We're in travel softball mode. We don't have any of that.
Nope. We are like season's over.
I know. I'd like to go maybe Windrock again before the year's up.
I start my job Monday.
Yep. Allie's over there. She's just hoping that some new Ford products gets delivered.
Right. Yeah, so funny. I actually got 2 emails about jobs this week.
It's got to. It's the fluffy land whale.
He's evil.
See, that's why he likes the dog more than you.
No, he won't let me hold him. He's purring, and yet he's ready to attack me.
And you're blurry.
Too much cat. See, cats even screw up the stream.
Damn cat. I don't know how to fix it.
Put your face in and out.
Put your face in the camera. Hey.
See, it worked.
I didn't doubt it.
You laughed, and I said it worked.
I did not doubt it.
Yeah, that's the thing, Mobile. The job market is interesting. It's
everyone says they're hiring, and yet nobody's hiring.
No, and that's the thing is, like, I was talking to somebody. Who was I talking to? I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody last week about this, on how, yes, there are fast food places, and there are all these other places that are hiring like crazy right now. But for anybody that's skilled, it's really, really tough market right now to find a job.
My girl got the skills.
Well, funny thing, the state of Tennessee is like, hey, you didn't even know this. So I've got to go to this thing on Wednesday, all virtual, but like, because I haven't gotten a job yet, they want to train me up to help me make sure that I find a job, because I've been unemployed for 8 weeks. And I'm like, you realize no, I have to for my final week. I even told them, I was like, but I have a job that starts Monday. And they were like, well, if that all goes well, you don't have to come to the second meeting.
The second one?
Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? Forget it. But yeah,
daycare over here.
But yeah, that's the thing, is people don't necessarily. And also the other thing people don't realize is that a lot of places, I know, I'm telling you, a lot in
Buc-ee's pays over $100,000 a year.
Yeah, but it's not here yet.
I know.
But the other thing is,
needs a Buc-ee so bad.
Yeah.
Finish your statement, Kelly.
Okay. So the other problem is that
Night, y'all.
The other problem is that employers only have online applications and you can't call anybody. Like it'll say, don't contact us, we'll contact you. And the unemployment's like, why haven't you contacted these employers? Because I don't have a way to contact these employers and they don't want you to.
They say no.
Right. And then you don't even get ghosted a lot of times. Like for those that don't know, you don't even get an email. It was like, it's not you, it's me.
I remember that G. Willikers did.
That's right. I do remember that.
And he was apologizing for. I was like, there's no reason to apologize.
That's right. Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting market out there. Like it's definitely a lot different. You can't email anybody to ask about an application. You can't call anybody. It's all online. No, don't contact me. I'll contact you. Yeah. And then you're lucky if you get an email when they've filled the position.
It's not you, it's me.
True.
Right. So
it's not you, it's me. No, it's you.
Yes, mobile. That's it. No one sends out notifications that they filled. That'll be the one thing that when I talk to unemployment office this week, will be like, can you get with your employers and make sure that they send out like thanks but no thanks? Like it's just crazy.
Man, we should start an
and that has been Job Search Nation.
Yeah, we'll start an unemployment. That's what we'll turn the live one into, just unemployment. Oh,
hold on, wait. I can't figure out where's our chat thing. Where's the private chat thing?
Over on the comments
where it says
under
private chat?
Under brand where it says private chat.
Oh, hold on. I'm sending you the link to something. Pull this up.
All right.
I have work stuff. I can't share my screen right now.
Unacceptable.
I have credit apps.
Unacceptable.
What we got here?
I hate the grill.
It looks very Toyota.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd seen some.
It almost is Land Rover-esque on the front.
Well, they did own it one time. Yeah, it's kind of car front end. I kind of like the last version a little bit. I like the interior though. That's clean.
They're saying it's the 24, but I don't have anything different for 24 yet.
Taillights are okay. Kind of Sequoia-like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely lower.
They'll sell a lot of them as cop cars. They'll do all right.
That's true.
So these are the new taillights and headlights to start looking for when you're out on the highway.
Right.
Let's see. Allie's doing us it's a community service here.
That's it.
I am.
Community service.
That's right.
Let me help you.
Says the Ford Explorer may have gone all electric in Europe.
I think it did.
Yeah.
But it's still guzzling midsize SUV here in the U.S.
Yep.
I hate calling it gas guzzling. Like these things are not. There's
like
nothing.
The grill.
Nothing.
It looks very Toyota to me.
Yeah. Nothing right now is gas guzzling like they were in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-mm.
No.
I do know that Toyota's teasing a potential stout EV that's going to challenge the Maverick. So that might shake up the Maverick a little bit, where they force Ford to go do an electric version. That would be interesting. Get probably around 220 miles on that thing. If you're on my channel here and you've been watching, I've been paying attention to the Canoe brand. And Kelly, our stock was at 23 cents the last time.
Somebody talked about it tanking.
Yeah. I have $100 that I bought in Canoe a few months ago, and it's going to dwindle to nothing. But it's been entertainment for me. So I would go to a bar and spend $100. So why not throw it at a car company that's dissolving?
Wow.
Hey man, I'm helping American workers.
There you go.
See? Some of us don't just take. Give.
Scott Wiesen says, to clarify, not a fan of the Ford Explorer. I am a fan of All-Terrain Nation.
Well, I need everybody in here. If you haven't yet, smash the like button for us. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us. We appreciate Andy's 15 super chats at $1 each. Those were we do appreciate that. We have Patreon. It's linked in the comment section. It's pinned to the comment section. There, we appreciate it if you want to help support the channel that way. If you're not, like we're talking, I know times are tough, so not everybody can do that kind of stuff. But if you want to help support the channel, we can do it that way. Well, that helps a lot.
Yeah,
when they do it. I shouldn't have to like beg for that one. And all YouTubers do it, but you're like, it means so much if you like what you're watching.
I mean, honestly, I didn't know until I started coming on with y'all.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah, because it's just like on the Book of Faces and stuff like that. Like you have to like something for it to continue to show up in your feed, and it also does that where it pushes to other people's feed.
Yep.
The same way. So it's the same idea. So, Valley Dude 5000 says, "How is the Mustang?"
It is badass. We dropped a Mustang video yesterday. Kelly was in that video where we're doing the mileage in it, our Hyperloop, and then we just broke down in that video. We broke down kind of what your impressions of the car were. Scott, thank you so much. I wasn't begging for super chats, by the way.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate that. But the Mustang is great. Now that Kelly will be employed next week,
yes.
Like I said earlier in the show, it's allowed me to kind of relax with it and enjoy it now, where before it was more of a, okay, that's like a press car to me. We drive it, we do stuff on it, then you leave it alone. So now I feel like I can go have some fun with it. I have the perfect thumbnail for the dad video. So I want my dad in the driver's seat. I want to be by the door. Camera is going to be a low shot looking up at my dad in the driver's seat. And I want to put the thing in burnout mode, and I want white smoke behind us as my dad is just ripping on this car. That's the thumbnail, I'm telling you. And but I was supposed to record that video this week and didn't get to do it.
I need to make sure I see his insurance card before he gets in my car.
Oh,
it's fine.
He's only had like 10 wrecks this year.
This month.
So there is our show tonight, man. We appreciate, once again, I apologize if I got a little ranty. Comes with passion. So I love our Mustang and Bronco, and we'll see these dealerships take care of us. Any final words, ladies?
Nope. Nothing.
Go. Allie's got under her name there. It says Allie Du Bois. Go follow
my
subscribe
Instagram.
to her.
Go find her on her all her stuff. The IG,
the IG, the YouTube.
The YouTubers.
We promise we won't Photoshop our pictures.
Whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive, it doesn't matter what you drive. Shake that booty, girl. It's been your Alternate Nation. We're out. Peace, everybody.
I'm out.
See ya.